and the Social Studies Department to conduct an essay contest. And the essays were then delivered to the East Hartford Veterans Commission and the Parade Committee to then make a decision on the actual winner of the contest itself. And we carry on a tradition of having that winner present here to recite her essay. And when you hear it and you listen carefully, you'll have a very clear understanding why Nyah Edwin was selected the winner of this year's essay. I'd like to my honor to produce Nyah at this time to come forward to present her essay. Nyah.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Nyah Edwin, and this is A Man Across the Nation. My sister is 22 years old. She goes to school here in Connecticut, studying criminology, even interning with the state judicial branch, right here. Some worries she constantly has are about essays and assignments that seem endless. In another area of the world, or even the country, there's a young man, not much older than her, who has perished defending our country. To the reports, he may have just been a number, a casualty, but he wasn't that just years before. He was a comrade, a teammate, a friend to many. He was a son, maybe a sibling, but he had a home in someone's heart. The man across the nation, he was a person with goals, aspirations, hobbies, and interests, just like you and me. But most importantly, he had memories. He may have remembered getting money under his pillow from the tooth fairy, or learning to ride his bike up and down the street until the lamppost lights flicker to life. He may remember his voice suddenly dropping out of nowhere, or zits and pimples dotting his face just after one soda. He may remember that one ridiculously hard math exam he thought he'd never get out of. These are memories that stick with him. One that sticks with him the most, however, is the memory of his mother sobbing, not wanting to speak to him because of the decision he made. He decided to serve, to risk his life for the nation he called home. I hear the story at almost every family reunion. My grandmother sits at the table, recalling the night my father left for the Air Force, right here. She cried and cried, my aunts in disbelief, my uncles even scoffing at the fact. He'll be back in about 2 weeks, they would say. But their hearts clenched at the thought, the possibility. He was only 18 years old, and I'm grateful that he's still here with me to this day. Sometimes I picture him, young, masking his fear in the face of the drill sergeant, maybe shaking in his boots. So far, too far from home. Just finished high school, rapidly full thrust into a world of seriousness, a huge contrast to the days of him laughing with his friends in third period. But while I try sometimes, it's hard to imagine him. Yes, a young, immature kid comes to mind, but his face can never fully come to me. I've seen so many pictures of him when he was younger around that time, so it shouldn't be hard. But I've only ever seen him old. His face, now ridden with wrinkles and tired but loving eyes, was once youthful and unknowing of what he would see and experience. It seems distant. But my slight inability to picture him is a blessing. I sit wondering what my father looked like when he was young, when that same mother across the nation can only imagine what her son would look like grown old, with gray hairs carrying years of memories and smile lines earned from the soft moments of positivity. Instead, she has pictures. Frozen in time forever, a reminder of a happier time. It's all she has, and she knows it. She has pictures of his immature face, memories of his laugh, recordings of his voicemails. She has a seat for him at the table each Thanksgiving, a box of his clothes she couldn't bring herself to sell. She can't bring herself to think of that dark day, what he was thinking, how his face looked, if he had called for his mother. Maybe the man across the nation was a sibling. Maybe he had a sister. Maybe they were normal siblings, arguing over the TV remote, having to cut food ever so slightly so that one doesn't argue that the other had the bigger half, one tattling on the other. But maybe they were close. So close that on the day he left, she was angry. angry at him for making their mother feel this way, for making her feel this way. And now she regrets it every single day. She said some things that weren't very tasteful, and she wishes she never said them. But she expected time for there to be an apology she could give him. But there wasn't. He would never come back. He marched onto the battlefield thinking she hated him, and that alone is a weight crushing her, let alone every memory of him now tainted with a dark undertone. Now she's forced to grow apart from him, to build her identity away from him, but she knows she can't. At her wedding, she saves him a seat. Her first son is named after him. She desperately clings and longs to go back, to rewind time and do something different, but she knows she can't. To say something different, to cut him some slack, to help him with his homework, because she was once referred to as his sister, and now she's referred to as strong and brave, but she doesn't want to be strong or brave. She just wants to argue over the TV remote one last time. Maybe the man across the nation was close to his father. They'd play baseball together out in the field. His father would teach him how to shave and not nick himself, how to change a tire, how to fish. He knew he'd have to teach his son about curveballs life would throw at you. He'd have to prepare him for manhood. But his father also knew that he would be taught things by his son too. His son would teach him that they're two different people, and the pressure he had endured can't be passed on to him so easily. His son would teach him that defiance isn't out of disrespect, out of confusion. That night his son left, he was silent. They finally hugged, holding on tight. He saw himself in his little boy, because he wasn't just his son, he was his best work. And now,